You get stale.
Popcorn?
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Popcorn? You forget about things like stale.
Popcorn.
Popcorn, stale popcorn.
Popcorn.
This is the
Stale.
Popcorn.
Hello and welcome. Steven, how are you today?
Chris, I am good today. How are you doing?
I am well. What is the question of the day, Steve?
Ooh, I don't have one. Do you have one?
Do you like weather?
I do like it.
Oh, glad we
like
learned
weather?
that about you. I do too.
Fair enough.
Well, let's move on.
Hopefully
here.
you'll know a little bit more about us, audience members.
You're slowly figuring out more, but you got any announcements for us, Steve?
I do, but I want to give a quick shout out real quick. On the podcast here, we have a lot of close friends, including but not limited to Channing Tatum, Henry Cavill, a close personal friend of mine, Nicolas Cage, who we've been friends for years. But I'm proud to say we have a new friend of the show, and his name is Jorgen Thompson. I got to know him a little bit this week. He is from the YouTube channel Swappin' Thoughts, and he's a great guy. Good, down-to-earth guy, fellow. He covers sci-fi fantasy theories and reviews, and his favorite movies are Lord of the Rings and Blade Runner 2049, which means he's okay in my book. So, yeah. Good guy. Go subscribe over to his YouTube channel, and shout out to him.
And I assume that's Swappin' Thoughts, T-H-O-T, correct?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, would you say he's a pop head?
Oh, sure. Yeah, he's a pop head.
We got another pop head here. All right.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, Chris, I actually have some news for you.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Are you familiar with the show The Office?
I am.
Well, I'm proud to say The Office is heading to Australia.
Couldn't care less. But go on.
Geez. The Office is heading to Australia with a fresh new twist on the beloved mockumentary series. Prime Video has announced that The Office Australia will premiere October 18th with an 8-episode premiere. This latest adaptation marks a new milestone for the franchise as it introduces its first ever female lead, Felicity Ward, best known for her roles in Time Bandits and Wakefield.
Do you know who she is?
I do not. But I'm not opposed to it. I'll watch it. Australians are funny, you know.
They are funny.
If nothing else, it'll be entertaining to hear how they pronounce the word no.
That's true. Yeah, good point.
Nar. I got more, Chris.
Yes.
Do you love Pac-Man?
Sure.
Do you love Dungeons and Dragons?
I played it once.
Do you love Warhammer 40,000?
Never played it.
Do you love God of War?
Never played it.
Well, for people who do love those and other titles, Prime Video has officially announced its new adult animated anthology series called Secret Level, featuring original short stories set within the world of popular video games. The announcement of the show, which comes from the creative minds of Netflix's Love, Death, and Robots, was made during the Gamescom opening night live stream. Are you familiar with Love, Death, and Robots at all?
I heard of it, never seen.
It's pretty good. I like it a lot. And I think this one's pretty cool. It's like that, but with video games in there. So like Tim Miller, director of Deadpool, he's behind it, and It's got Keanu Reeves.
Also the director kind of Borderlands. Don't forget that.
Yep.
Yep.
Don't besmirch his name.
But Keanu Reeves. So yeah, him and Keanu, huh?
Yeah. So I'm excited for this because they got a few titles in there that I like a lot. I love me some anthology series, so I'm looking forward to it.
Maybe if we get enough likes, we'll review it right here on the pod, huh?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea. Chris, I got a question for you.
Yes.
What do you do if you're trying to tap into an already saturated and possibly dying market?
You close your eyes and throw a dart and wish for the best and do what's been working?
Sure, or you could innovate, right?
Ooh, sure.
So I'm here to tell you and announce to the world Chick-Fil-A is moving, quote, aggressively into entertainment with its own streaming service.
Ooh.
Did you have that on your announcements?
I like you saying it here. I can't wait to watch Chicken Run 3, Chicken Run 4, Chicken Little.
Yeah.
What other chicken?
It says fast food chain Chick-Fil-A is reportedly working on multiple production companies to produce a slate of family-friendly reality and scripted television to support a streaming platform expected to launch later this year.
Ooh.
Now, I'm going to put you on the spot, Christopher, as the creative director of Chick-Fil-A. What are you guys going to call it?
Ooh, Filet Plus, I don't know. Chicken Little Chick. I don't know. You got any ideas here, Steve?
Maybe I came up with one. Maybe Chick Flicks.
Ooh, Chick Flicks.
Yeah,
That's
might
not bad.
might do it. Yeah.
You know, I'm
I
more
thought that
thinking
was-
of the products here. I already got a Supersize Me Too. We got to make sure the guy dies from eating McDonald's. We're doing a 10-episode docuseries on Jared from Subway. We're just tearing down all the... We're going to make Wendy's look like a worst person on earth here. We're going to just trash all the other fast foods, so you got to come to Chick-Fil-A here.
I love it. Anyway, moving forward, we got the Lord of the Rings War of Rohirrim trailer. Did you see that,
I saw
Christopher?
it today, actually.
What'd you
It came
think?
out today.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, I'm not normally a cartoon kind of man,
Mm-hmm.
but I will say in the last year, I watched Blue Eye Samurai. You ever see that?
No, I never heard of it.
It's on Netflix. It's real good. Our mutual friend Dajan recommended, and I saw it, and it was quite good.
Mm.
And then I watched a show because I saw that. I said, let me get a little more anime in. So I watched Attack on Titan. That was pretty good.
Okay.
I think Preston recommended. And I saw Invincible. So then I tried watching more, but I kind of got a little cartooned out. But maybe I can get behind this. I don't know. What are you thinking, Steve?
Yeah, I think I like anime, and I love me some Lord of the Rings. It's got some big names attached to the project. We got Brian Cox.
Ooh,
You know where he's from?
Wolverine or X2.
Yes, McDonald's
Stryker.
commercials. Yep,
He's in McDonald's?
he's in a bunch of McDonald's commercials where he's like, ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Isn't he in The Ringer? Or am I getting him mixed up? Isn't he the uncle or whatever?
I don't know, maybe.
Pretty sure he is. I'll look it
Comment
up.
below,
But
is he in The
keep
Ringer?
going here.
The War of the Rohirrim takes place 183 years before the events of Lord of the Rings, and it follows the legendary King of Rohan, Helm Hammerhand. Kind of goes in his plot and his storyline. Yeah, I think I'll definitely give this a watch because I love me some Lord of the Rings.
Yes, he was in The Ringer. That's his
good on ya.
best known work, if you ask me.
Yeah, definitely. That's all the movie news I got, Chris. What you got for me?
Well, I got some. You did steal a couple, not gonna lie, but I'm okay with that, Steve. I'm glad.
Okay.
Look at you being out in the news here.
Trying to pull my weight here, yeah.
So, Alien Romulus,
Mm-hmm.
which we reviewed last week. It opens with $108 million at the worldwide box office with a film budget of $80 million. So
Wow.
I'd say it's on track to at least
Break even.
break even. I mean, it could be worse. Now I got
Yeah.
some kind of somber news for you.
What's up?
Disney, The Acolyte, has
Hmm.
been canceled after one season. The finale is believed to be the lowest viewed for a Star Wars series finale.
Boy, you know, guys, we tried.
I
We
know.
tried. I saw the hashtag Renew Acolyte Season 2 trending,
Yeah.
and
Did you retweet?
oh heavens, no.
Did you?
I could not be bothered.
Oh,
I just thought it was interesting that it was trending and it still got canceled. Like, they got to get the Zack Snyder bots to get on the same level, you know what I mean? They need to outsource their trending topics out to India, you know what I mean? You know what I'm
all the
saying?
merchandise for the Acolyte has already been removed from Disney's online stores. They're trying to bury
Oof.
this like
Like a bad
it never
secret.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of
Jeez.
Disney, did you hear about this whole lawsuit thing? Is this creaking a bell?
My wife and I think we talked about it just shortly, but for those who don't know, go ahead.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't really go too in depth. But from my understanding, and comment below if I get anything here messed up, but a couple was going out to eat at a Disney restaurant, and the wife goes to the waiter, "Hey, there's no allergy? Like, is this allergen free?" And the waiter says, "Oh yeah," and then they eat, and unfortunately, it wasn't allergy free, and she dies.
Mm.
And so the dad is like, "Well, I'm going to sue Disney here, obviously," and Disney, they hit him back with, "Well, actually, you signed up for Disney Plus 3 years back, and the fine print, it says that you can't be suing us," or I think it was like, I don't know exact terms, arbitration, have to go through some third party. And so they were just like, too bad. And then this kind of got out in the press here, and people were retweeting, and then made Disney look pretty bad, obviously. So they came out recently and said, Disney has decided to waive its right to arbitration and allow the matter to proceed in court for the recent wrongful death lawsuit where they attempted to use a widower's Disney Plus subscription to arbitrate. Quote, "At Disney, we strive to put humanity above all other considerations."
Wow, that's pretty bold of them, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Jeez. Jeez,
Yeah.
how, I mean, dystopian. We're living it, my guy.
I know.
Can you imagine?
So now I'm like, I'm glad I'm still mooching off, Steve Smith from 2008's Disney Plus, and trying to, even though it wasn't even around yet. But yeah,
Can you imagine?
think
I mean,
twice.
just
got to read every single fine print here.
not only that, but like they could have settled out of court, done it very quietly, and it would have been nigh a drop in a ocean to them. Even if they gave like $10 million, like that's nothing to them. But no, they had to create the worst PR disaster they've seen.
Yeah,
in a
and
decade.
obviously, prayers out to the family here. Unfortunate and sad to hear. But something else that's sad to hear is the original plan for Avengers 5 reportedly had Shang-Chi as one of the main lead characters.
And does it not anymore?
Apparently not. They're not a huge Shang-Chi fans. Were you a fan
You
of
aren't,
Shang?
or Disney isn't?
Both, I guess.
Both.
I thought the movie was fine, but I've never seen it again since. So
Yeah. I remember liking that bus fight. That was
yeah,
fun.
I remember that was fun.
That's literally the only thing I remember.
Same.
But, yeah.
Glen Powell's comedy series Chad Powers has begun filming. This series follows a college quarterback whose career ends after bad behavior. So he walks onto a struggling Southern football team disguised as the talented Chad Powers. Powell co-created this series with Michael Waldron.
That sounds entertaining.
I'm definitely excited. I'll watch it.
Is it a show you said or a movie?
It's a show. If you're familiar with Eli Manning, he did a YouTube video a few years back where he literally plays Chad Powers. Do you know who Eli Manning is, Steve? You heard of the name?
I've heard of the name.
He's a NFL quarterback. He's retired now. He's like 45 or something, but essentially he like dressed up in a disguise and went to a Penn State practice, and they had like a walk-on tryouts, and he was dressed up this weird guy, but obviously he's pretty good at football, and his name is literally Chad Powers. So I think they just copied that, and they're like, we'll make a show out of this, but it's got Glen Powell, so who cares? And it sounds like
that's enough of a selling point to me. Yeah.
Premise, we need a new Ted Lasso since that's done,
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes is introducing Verified Hot, a new designation for films with high audience scores. To get the badge, a film must earn a verified audience score of 90% or higher on the popcorn meter.
Okay, sure. I mean, I don't really trust Rotten Tomatoes that much anyway, but
I trust
it
the
just for
audience
audience
more. Yeah, it's just the audience.
Okay.
So, like, if it's certified fresh, it means the critics give it like a 75% or something.
Okay.
But they never really had. I think it was just like if it's a red tomato, if it's over 60, or it's like whatever that green rotten tomato is.
Yeah.
I was curious, so I went back and to see which of the films we have reviewed this year are verified, or the verified hot.
Oh, hot. Yes.
So,
Can I guess?
Steve, I'll tell you, there is 7.
Okay. 7.
You want to guess?
Yes.
And I'm just doing ones that we reviewed and came out this year.
Okay, let me guess. June Part 2.
Yes.
Deadpool Wolverine.
Yes.
Is the Fall Guy on there?
No.
Oh. Is Alien Romulus on there?
No.
Ooh. What about Twisters?
It is. Good job.
Hey. And A Quiet Place for Day
Nope.
1? Oh. Bloody Inside Out 2. That's on there.
That's in there, yes.
And
I think
Atlas. Definitely on there.
it wasn't, but it was like 55% audience, which,
Oh, jeez.
yeah. We got
What else is
actually
on there?
2 more here. So we got Godzilla X Kong, which
Okay.
I was a little surprised.
Yeah.
And Fly Me to the Moon.
Okay. Those 2, I wouldn't say merit that
I
rating,
wouldn't
but
either.
sure.
Another movie that we didn't review yet, but we talked about, Harold and the Purple Crayon, is verified hot.
You stop this right now. Are you serious?
Yeah, 92%, but it's
Oh,
only got a
jeez.
25% critic. So, hey, maybe I'll like this. I trust the audience more than the critics, if I'm being honest.
You know, we've heard review bombing. What's the opposite of a bombing?
Pearl Harboring. I don't know what. Anti-air.
Succeeding.
Succeeding. What do they call it? Terraforming? We're terraforming here.
Audience review terraforming.
And while I was digging along the old Rotten Tomatoes, I did see another one of your favorite movies, Rebel Moon. I was curious how the director's cut, how that fared compared to the movies. And let me tell you, Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child on Fire, 22% critic, 56% audience. This is the one we saw. Mm-hmm. Director's cut, 53% director, 73% audience. And then Rebel Moon Part 2, original, 17% director, 47% audience. Director's cut, 64% critics, 78% audience. Maybe we got to watch these films, Steve. They're doing pretty good.
Maybe.
Do you want to guess the runtime on both of these? The director's cut?
Well, knowing Zachary, he'll make it even slower motion. Mm-hmm. So I think the first one's probably close to like 2 hours and 58 minutes.
3 hours and 24 minutes.
Oh, goodness, Christopher.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
And then I guess the second one, it couldn't be longer, could it?
It can't. It's a light 2:53.
oh, very light, yeah.
Which
you could watch Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off twice.
You could watch that like 4 times here, man.
Goodness gracious.
Should we do like where we reach a certain goal, we'll sit through and watch these or is that just too
Listen, I'm willing to go through the ringer for this show for our audience members. So if we hit 700 subscribers on YouTube, let's do it.
All right. Do we have a timeline?
Tell your mom, tell your uncle. If you want to hear us suffer and
should we say like by the end next month? By like October?
Is next month October?
Well,
no, it's
by
September.
the end of next month is September.
Oh, sure. By October 1st.
I mean, unless you want to give them a week to get like whatever we need, 60 subs.
Yeah.
We'll say till that if it's by October 1st, when we'll binge watch both and do a double header. How's that?
I'll do it.
All right.
I got one, Chris.
Yes.
It's a trailer you sent me. Do you remember?
Oh, I do have stuff on that actually. Or yeah, you tell me. I forgot about that.
You sent me the trailer for the new Megalopolis feature film directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's a bold strategy how they did this marketing because it opens up with, is it Lawrence Fishburne talking? I think it is.
So, yeah.
It starts off with Adam Driver and he's like about to jump off a ledge and it shows Francis Ford Coppola's movies like The Godfather. It shows reviews of his past movies, but they're all the negative reviews. So we got negative reviews from The Godfather, quote, sloppy, self-indulgent mess. Apocalypse Now, quote, spectacular failure. Basically, this is a fantastic instance of Francis Ford Coppola saying, trust me, bro. Because you got Lawrence Fishburne saying, this is going to define film for a generation. From film director, visionary Francis Ford Coppola. And I was like, okay, sure. It was more of the same, just absolute fever dream of a film trailer. Because I still don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I will say it was a little better. I was like, at least kinda. I still don't know what the heck's gonna happen, but I was like, it was better than the last trailer, if you ask me.
It was more interesting because I saw those and I was like, oh, okay.
It's one of those like you really, hey, don't listen to these reviews that are gonna come out and say this is terrible. If they say it's bad, that means it's actually good. He's really doing a reverse psychiatry, if you know what I mean.
Definitely, yeah. And so I think, Chris, we're certified cinephiles here, right?
Yes.
And we want to be on the right side of history when this comes out. We want to be able to say to people like, we knew all along that this was going to be great. Mm-hmm. So I want to put a quote out there that people can quote us saying, mark my words, this will revolutionize how we view movies and launch us into a new era of film, end quote.
Mm-hmm.
But to play both sides, I have another quote that people can pull from us here. As sure as I knew the sun would rise in the east, I knew Megalopolis would become one of the worst movies ever committed to film. So we have it on record
we're covering both sides.
Both
here.
sides. Just like Mac, I'm playing both sides of the fence.
Yeah. You know, I think in 35 years, when his next movie comes out, that negative review is going to pop up on there like, oh, whatever,
That's my
the
hope,
sun
Christopher.
shines and something.
Yeah.
Well,
Is he still? He won't be alive in 30 years.
I
but
mean, yeah, I could
we'll
see.
have AI
Yeah.
by then. Be like, make me a Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah. Did you hear about the reviews, though, Steve?
I did not know.
Oh, so they had the trailer that they released with all those reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out the reviews were fake. They weren't even. They weren't
really?
like real because there's like one from Roger Ebert, and they're like trying to find it. Nothing happened. Like, I think maybe like 2 of the reviews were actual ones, and so they actually took the trailer down and put out like an apology, like we screwed up, my bad, like.
Did they? I bet someone was like, "Hey, I think I remember Roger saying this.
He said this
from memory. I do believe, but only quote him exactly." Saying,
yeah.
Wow, that's
So I mean,
the
it just
audacity,
adds. It's
geez.
great marketing. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna watch this, no matter how
Oh, yeah.
bad it looks and how bad all the critics are saying it is. I feel like people are still gonna watch just because it seems
Yeah.
like the perfect storm of.
Listen, worst case scenario, it's an average movie, but I want it to either be just horrendous or
Yeah.
mind blowing because that'll help us too.
Give me like
Yeah.
something to remember you by. Another sad thing. So, The Crow. This was a movie we talked about maybe seeing.
Mm-hmm.
It came out today, and it's not doing too hot. It's got a 6% critic.
A 60 or
6.
6, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes. Without the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ooh,
Which I saw the trailer and I was like, that looks pretty good. I like Scars. It looks like
Sure.
a nice action, and yeah, I'm worried a little.
we got a Borderlands situation here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably still watch it because,
Mhm.
why not? But I'll let you know.
Do tell, yes.
But other than that, that's all I got, Steve.
Very good. Well, I got a question for you, Chris, and that question is,
Mhm.
what you been watching lately?
What I've been watching? Well, I saw one film,
Mm.
Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. You ever seen this?
I think I've heard of it. Is it kind of like a Evil Dead comedy?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
It's pretty good, actually. It's got
Alan Tudyk, I
Alan
think?
Tudyk and a bunch of other people I never seen, but it's a horror comedy. It was one of those I put it on with me and my brother and our wives, and my wife left after like 30 minutes. The other one was not really paying attention, but me and my brother, we were just chuckling, giggling. I'd give that like a 3.5 if you ask me. It was pretty good.
Okay, very good.
But how about you, Steve? You watching anything?
I have been watching a show. It's called Kevin Can F Himself on Netflix.
Ooh.
Have you heard of it?
No, but I'm intrigued by the premise.
It's new to Netflix, but I guess it's a couple years old. I think it's pretty interesting. It's a really interesting watch. I would call it a trans-genre show.
Ooh.
But it follows like a conventional TV sitcom couple where, like your King of Queens. Have you ever seen that show?
No, but I know what it is.
About a husband and wife, and where the husband's just this bumbling oof.
Yes.
He's a big dumb moron,
He's a real
and the
idiot.
wife, yeah, but like insufferable, just like 90% of sitcom dads and fathers.
Yes.
The main character is Allison, and she is, I believe her name's Annie Murphy from Schitt's Creek. I don't know if you ever seen that show.
Never seen that neither, but sure, I'll act like I have.
Sure, yeah. No, it's pretty interesting. Like, I've only seen the first few episodes, but I like that it balances two genres at the same time. And it sounds weird me saying it, but if you watch the first episode, you'd be like, oh, that's pretty, like it's trying something new.
Yeah.
Because it has the Kevin side where her husband's in it. It's like your average multicam sitcom with a laugh track, but it also has the perspective of the main character, Allison, but it's like more of a drama, single cam. And it's kind of hard to explain, but
Sure.
and it really helped me come to grips that I hate sitcoms, like laugh track sitcoms.
Is it a laugh track?
It is, but it plays around with it. Like it has interesting commentary around it, and how, like in those kind of TV shows, how they like treat women and how just dumb they are overall.
Yeah.
Where like she's the butt of the joke a lot of the time, where it ends up with her like splashed with water or like chili spilled on her and stuff. And yeah, like I've only seen the first like 5 or so episodes, but it does something new that I'm excited
On
about.
Netflix,
I've never
you
seen a
say?
show do that. Yeah.
I'll give it a watch. I hear, I
Yeah.
see, I feel.
I think there's 2 seasons right now. I think there's a third coming out, but yeah.
All right.
Nothing else I've been really watching of note. So do you want to...
Yeah, let's get in this.
All right. So we had some discussions this week because we were like, what should we do the episode on? Do we want to talk about The Crow? And I was like, not really. And we talked to maybe do you want to watch The Union on Netflix? And I watched 10 minutes of that and I was like, no, I'm good with that. No.
Yeah, because we weren't planning on doing this film, Cuckoo. How do you... Cusco? What are we calling it?
I think it's Cuckoo.
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 It's got to be
like that.
cuckoo if it's a bird.
Yeah.
Cuckoo. But yeah, I saw this in theater just because I got my Regal Unlimited RPX. You know, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'd seen one trailer for it, but it doesn't really share too much. But I was like, I mean, might as well give it a watch. Wasn't expecting much, and I was like, actually, that's kind of interesting. So I text Steve. I say, hey, if you want to watch this movie, it wasn't that bad. I feel like it's got some interesting things to talk about. And
yeah,
I could feel Steve. He was like, are you sure, man? The Union, it's so good. I love Mark Wahlberg. He never misses. Halle Berry, she's the best, you know. But I convinced him here. So let us know if we made the right or wrong choice.
Yeah, let us know if we ever want to revisit The Union down the line.
The only Union
Make
I
Chris
care
suffer
about is
along with
Triple
me.
X State of the Union.
Ah, very good. Maybe we'll have a Vin Diesel-a-thon one day.
Yes.
Rank his films.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess we'll go into non-spoilers, tell you a little bit about the plot, rating, and then we'll spoil some stuff for you. So, Chris.
Yes.
I am very much looking forward to you explaining this movie to not only myself, but to the audience as well.
So you got Gretchen. She's a 17-year-old girl, and she's with her father and her stepmom and her stepsister in Germany. And they're going to this resort that the dad just got a job contracting to basically build a new, better resort. It starts off with them getting there, and without spoiling, I can't really say much besides it gets a little spooky. You know, things happen, and it's suspenseful. There's terror. Is she crazy? Is she not? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Is this person real? Is this not? And I guess that's all I can really say from the trailer without spoiling. Did I do a good job here, Steve?
Without spoiling, yes. I have in my notes 2 words. I wrote pretty weird.
Yeah, it is pretty weird.
I did think it was better than the 10 minutes of The Union I saw. And I thought it was pretty interesting. Like, I like that it was different, you know? It's not your typical Marvel superhero, whatever bullcrap they're coming out with now. I thought it was good, but I don't think I'll ever come back to it. And I don't think there's anything that memorable that'll be like, oh, remember in bloody Cuckoo, that bit? You know what I mean?
Well,
but it was a fun watch, a quick little fun, fast movie. Yeah.
So you weren't a huge fan. What are you giving this rating wise?
Probably like a 2.5. Like, it's just right down the middle for me. Like, it was good, but it wasn't like memorable. You know?
Maybe it's because I had less expectations. Were you thinking it'd be pretty good since I was like, you should just watch this movie instead? Or were you...
Maybe a little bit, but I saw the trailer and everyone was like, oh, this is such, like, people were like, this, what's the actress is the new Scream Queen. Like, it's so good. And
she was in Hunger Games, the new one. That was the only thing I knew her from.
Oh, okay.
Did you recognize the dad? Tell me where's Gandalf, for I must desire to speak with him.
Oh, is it Celebrimbor? Not
Celebrimbor.
Yeah, Celeborn from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I thought that was him.
And the mom was in a bunch. She was in the newest Glass Onion Knives Out movie. She's the like.
Oh, she's in not Jessica Jones, Iron Fist.
Yeah,
too.
She's that. She was in Game of Thrones. She was one of the Sand Snakes. But I liked it more than Steve because to me it was just unique. It was most movies I can kind of put together the plot within the first act, like this is going to happen, this is here, this is... And this one, I don't think anyone's going to know like what is going on here.
It definitely kept you guessing, yeah.
which I really liked. And it was one of those, like, I could watch it again because it's kind of got the poor man's prestige, or one of those ones where it's like, oh, you watch it back and like, okay, I'm seeing what's happening here, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Because, you know, it's one of those, like, I think of myself and I'm like, well, this doesn't make sense. And then the more I think, I was like, oh, that's why they did this and that. It's interesting to me, and it's one of the rare ones that it's like they don't answer all the questions. So I'm like, if they did a prequel, one of the few prequels I could kind of get behind.
Yeah, but I get that.
I liked it pretty good. I'd say it was like a 3.5 for me. Like, it's not one I'd really say you have to watch by any means. I'm not saying you need to go to the theater, but if you like movies that are, it's a little weird, it's spooky,
keeps you guessing a little bit.
It's a thriller, and thriller. Call me Saya, because I love cheap thrills.
Very good.
I love thrillers. That's my favorite genre.
Yeah.
And I thought this was pretty good here. My wife, she went and saw it, and I'll tell her to stop by, and I'm curious because I don't know if something tells me she probably is more on Steve's side here, but
yeah.
But
I want to talk some spoilies?
Yeah, so let's dive in here. Should we go into the plot here, or
yeah? Do you want
me to take the lead?
Unravel this tale of craziness here?
Yeah, so I'm assuming if you're listening to this, you either saw it or you're not going to see it. So maybe it'll make more sense if I explain it with the knowledge you learn later, or should I go chronologically from the story here?
Probably, like, from now on, we're just going to spoil it. So you can just go ahead and go for it, yeah.
So they're in this place in Germany, this resort, and you tell me if I'm getting something wrong or I misunderstand, but there's like this bird human species that just like live there. Was I getting that right?
Yeah. And you are not wrong on that accord. You don't find this
out till the end, and I don't think it explains if they're like mutated into it or if they're just been there the whole time, or this. They don't really go into that, do they?
No, I think Dan Stevens is just like, it makes it sound like he's been there, found one, and he's been doing experiments on him for a while.
Yeah, so basically it's like these bird species, they can't talk, but they can like hypnotize you where they call out through their gullet here and they do some weird noise, and it'll like make people basically have deja vu and like can't really control them. Like,
they get Nick Cage's next powers for a few seconds.
No one knows about it except Dan Stevens and the people there, I guess, a couple of them. And they have this resort, and the whole reason they have this resort is this probably isn't gonna.
I can see the gears in your head just trying to not only make sense but convey it like someone will understand.
Yeah, this is they're. Well, let me. So she's working at it. She doesn't know anything. It's her. She's the protagonist, Gretchen. And one night she's biking home. She's working at the lodge or whatever, hotel check-in. And she's biking and she's got headphones on. And she'd see this creepy lady with sunglasses. She chases her all the way to the hotel. And later on, you find out this lady with the sunglasses, because she keeps popping up and chasing them, and she's one of the bird people, but because she had headphones on, it doesn't have an effect. So if you can't hear it, the bird calls are kind of useless, and that's kind of what they use to combat it. But essentially, what has been going on is this mother is a cuckoo bird hybrid.
It's like a cuckoo human hybrid, and I guess the cuckoo birds, they have
yeah, they say something like they lay eggs in other birds' nests, and they let the other bird raise the eggs, and then they come back and take them when they're of age. So you find out that Gretchen, so the whole reason she's in Germany is her mom died, so she had to go with her dad.
And so
it starts off, she doesn't want to be there. She doesn't like her stepsister, doesn't really like her dad, stepmom. They mentioned like, oh, the dad and the stepmom, they had their honeymoon at this resort 8 years ago, and they have an 8-year-old kid. So basically they conceived the child at this resort, and now they're coming back here. And you later find out the way this sunglasses bird hybrid works is she goes when the couple's like in their honeymoon suite, she'll go do the siren, which paralyzes them, and then she'll like go up to the woman and like put eggs in her. Was I getting that right?
Yep.
So I think she puts eggs in them, but the husband still has to fertilize the eggs or else they can't get born or something, they say. So basically that was what happened. So 8 years ago, dad and stepmom go there, bang. But in between, before that, get probed by a bird lady. But I guess they forget it. But the main girl, Gretchen, never forgets it, which I don't understand. That, I guess, is maybe a con. But, and then...
You sound insane.
I know. So that the 8-year-old stepsister is a bird woman or whatever. It's they had other people raise it, and that's why they brought them back. Because Dan Stevens and them wanted to... I think link the daughter back up with the mom is what they're trying to do. But Gretchen, she has a change of heart. She likes the stepsis and ends up saving her. A whole bunch of stuff happens in between. But that's kind of the premise with the birds. There's this guy. I guess another main character is this cop or a former
German,
cop.
like detective. Yeah.
He's like a detective. And he was at that same place. And the bird lady tried and putting eggs in his wife, but he said, not
today.
He saw it and chased the woman with the sunglasses out. But then he came back, and like a side effect when the bird does this is it makes you throw up. And since his wife was laying on her back, she threw up and choked on her vomit and died. So now his life goal is like figuring out like what's going on here. When he finds out about the bird people, he's like, I'm going to kill them all, including cute little stepsis bird alien sister, the Dan Stevens and the cop shoot each other off screen. She goes off with some other girl that she met there and her stepsis, and then it ends.
Yes, essentially that's it.
It's better than I'm making it. It's just very
hard to explain. For those who have seen it, I feel like Chris did a really good job because it is so weird. Like, because you're like, does that part actually matter? Do I need it? Well, maybe, kind of, Yeah. So I think you did a good job having seen the film. But for those who have not seen and have listened up to this point, you're probably just like, is Chris having a stroke or something?
That's fair. That's completely fair because I feel like I'm having one too. I'm like, is that why they do that? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's really good. Stand-up performance, definitely Dan Stevens. Oh, yeah. I thought he was the best thing.
Creepy
kind of like, not a cult leader-esque, but like a weird scientist kind of like that arena. He needs to be in more things. I think we talked about it on the episode a couple of episodes ago. I think he should have been cast as Dr. Doom. I think he would have been fantastic. He plays that like gentle, welcoming, kind of cordial person, but he also can like turn on a dime and play that weird, creepy psycho. I feel like they should have utilized him a little bit more because he was the best aspect of it. Definitely the stand-up for me.
I thought it was pretty good acting by all those involved. If I go cons first and end on pros. Cons, the bird thing... hybrid, whatever, sunglass lady, the mother, she'll use her powers, but she never uses them against the cop guy. Because there's like...
Doesn't she?
Because he's the one that his wife dies from the throat, but it's like he chases her and she runs away, but like her power is literally to
she can
make him stop. And I don't think he knows about the ear thing yet. Like, I don't think they find out until the very end. Yeah. And then there's like another part where she's trying to get away and the car flips and he shoots her and she runs away again. Oh, I got a guest here. All right.
I'm dying to hear.
None of us have heard. She's fresh off the theater here. How would you rate this film at 1 out of 5 and why?
I don't know, 3. Because I didn't know what to expect. So there was definitely like a plot there. But I don't know. It was not what I was expecting.
Can you give a detailed explanation of the entire plot of this film for us?
Oh, sure. Do you really want me to?
You could probably do a better job than me, but so did you think it was scary?
It was a little better. No, not too much.
Did you know what was going on?
No, definitely didn't. I still don't think I know everything. It's just like a different species of something there.
Did it make you uncomfortable with the bird lady inserting her eggs into the other women?
Definitely uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was a little weird, but...
Is it scarier than Long Legs?
Yeah, I don't like long legs. Yes, it's better than long legs.
I agree with that. I thought it was way better than Long Legs. I thought it was better than Alien. What do you think?
No, Alien is better.
All right, to each their own.
I'd agree with her. I think Alien's better. I don't think it's for everyone. I think it reminded me of the kind of like a 70s or 80s horror kind of movie where it's like low budget, somewhat high concept type of deal. I didn't think the main bird ladies were particularly scary, except for I resolve, at least for a few months, never to ride my bike at night again. That was, I think, the scariest part, and I think they did that really well. But other than that, it wasn't scary. It's more like thriller-esque and like kind of creepiness. So
yeah, I agree there. It had a budget of $7 million, and I think it's at $5 million gross right now. So it was a low budge, but
yeah.
Pros, I thought it was... Again, it was, you don't really know. It was something you think about. I'm like, all right, so there's these bird things. Is this how they, okay, that makes sense. Oh, all right. And it just, you really don't know what's going to happen, Steve.
I have a question for you. You might be able to answer. What happened to her dad and stepmom?
They just don't tell you. I think I assume they're alive, but they give the stepmom like a drink. So I don't know if they're trying to.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what that was.
Maybe the dad's in on it. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I thought they would have maybe shown his involvement more, because, like, if you don't get a creepy feeling from Dan Stevens and choose to go back, you got to be in on it, right?
Yeah.
I'll give one that you usually give. It was a quick one. It was a quick hour 45 or so. And I love me some of that. Yeah, I don't know. It's not for everyone, but if you like a quick, weird kind of thriller, you should go for it then.
Yeah.
I'd say give it on streaming. Don't go out, I'd say.
Unless you got AMC Plus or Regal Unlimited.
Yes.
But yeah, that's about what I got for it. But I liked it more than Steve. But I thought it was pretty interesting. But it's not one you feel like you need to spend money for the theater per se. But as far as like thrillers go, I thought it was a better thriller than we've had in a while. So I enjoyed it.
Sure. Well, if you listened up to this part, thanks so much for listening. Help us. We don't usually want to suffer ourselves, but we would suffer for you guys and watch Rebel Moon Part 1 and 2 if we get to 700 subscribers. So be sure to go over there, make a couple of extra YouTube accounts and subscribe over there. We'll do it.
Make a couple. We'll do a marathon, watch all of those. Heck, we might even watch, what's another Zack Snyder film? Watchmen. We'll be
Sucker
Punched and Batman v Supermans, and
maybe we can do like a commentary track. Maybe we should try one of those.
I have to
put on our Patreon.
Should we do that for that would be the longest commentary track. I don't even know if my terabyte hard drive can handle for a 4-hour movie here.
Actually, scratch that. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I don't know. It sounds fun. I mean, how hard can it be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, probably pretty hard.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe and follow us. We're on Twitter, Xbox Live, LinkedIn, all the
PlayStation
above.
Network, add me on Farmville, Club Penguin, whatever it is, man.
I think next week we're going to talk about The Rings of Power Season 2.
Ooh.
At least the first 3 episodes. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any suggestions on what we should watch or talk about, leave it in the comments and we'll have a good time talking about it.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. And thanks for listening. Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.
Popcorn, stale popcorn.
Popcorn. Pop, pop, pop. This is the
Stale popcorn.
Popcorn.